Welcome to My Utmost for His Highest for March 28th. Is there some misunderstanding? Let's look at John 11, verses 7 and 8. John 11, verses 7 to 8 says, "Then he said to his disciples, 'Let us go back to Judea.' But Rabbi," they said, "a short while ago the Jews tried to stone you, and yet you are going back there?" Is there some misunderstanding? Just because I don't understand what Jesus Christ says, I have no right to determine that he must be mistaken in what he says. That is a dangerous view, and it is never right to think that my obedience to God's directive will bring dishonor to Jesus. The only thing that will bring dishonor is not obeying him. To put my view of honor ahead of what he is plainly guiding me to do is never right, even though it may come from a real desire to prevent him from being put to an open shame. I know when the instructions have come from God because of their quiet persistence. But when I begin to weigh the pros and cons and doubt and debate enter my mind, I am bringing in an element that is not of God. This will only result in my concluding that his instructions to me were not right. Many of us are faithful to our ideas about Jesus Christ, but how many of us are faithful to Jesus himself? That's a good question. Faithfulness to Jesus means I must step out even when I can't see anything. Matthew 14:29. But faithfulness to my own ideas mean that I must first clear the way mentally. Faith, however, is not intellectual understanding. Faith is a deliberate commitment to the person of Jesus Christ, even when I can't see the way ahead. Are you debating whether you should take a step of faith in Jesus or whether you should wait until you can clearly see to do what he has asked? Simply obey him with unrestrained joy. When he tells you something and you begin to debate, it is because you have a misunderstanding of what honors him and what doesn't. Are you faithful to Jesus or faithful to your ideas about him? That's a good point. Are you faithful to what he says? Or are you trying to compromise his words with thoughts that never came from him? Whatever he says to you, do it. John 2, verse 5. I really like this one line. I'm going to go back and read this again. Are you debating whether you should take a step of faith in Jesus or whether you should wait until you can clearly see how to do what he has asked? That's really good because, we can't see the whole picture. Like I said before, it's like our lives are puzzle pieces, and there's a big puzzle, and God is up and he's looking down and he can see exactly where to move us and where the next puzzle piece should be for us. But we can't see that, and if we have to wait until we can clearly see what the next step's going to be before we take it, that's not really faith. Faith is trusting that I'm going to take this next step even though I can't see, especially in times when I don't understand or the way may seem, cloudy and not so clear. But I have faith in the God of the universe who is going to be looking out for me. So I'm going to take that next step and the next step and just trust that he knows exactly where he wants me to go and where I'm going to end up. So I hope today you have a great day trusting him and just taking that next step of faith. And I'll see you back here tomorrow. You can order your own copy of the My Utmost for His Highest devotional book by going to utmost.org. And I would love to answer any questions you may have about faith in Jesus. Just email me through my website, nancyjoytoyou.com. And I hope you go out and shine for him today. See you tomorrow.